Y'all ain't nothing but a new and improved version of Christopher Columbus. Y'all can try to flip this either way you want to, any way you want to. But anybody who can move to a different country and actively participate in hindering a group of people, that's colonization, my brother, no matter which way you put it.
When do we get to the point where we allow people who aren't Black American represent what we want, what we need, and what we expect from the country our ancestors built? And here's a serious question that I want you to answer. Is it a coincidence that we have all these melanated people in our political system, a lot of them from immigrant backgrounds, and hardly anything ever gets done for foundational Black Americans? That's why my message is simple. It's time for us to stop caring about anybody who isn't our specific ethnic group. Okay, Republicans, you want to elevate anchor baby Byron Donalds? Well, you better have a big Jamaican voting base because we're showing them no support. Okay, Democrats, you want to elevate Kamala Harris or Hakeem Jeffries or any of these other melanated immigrants? Well, you better have a big immigrant voting base because we're showing them no support. See, here's the thing. We have one of the biggest currencies in the world that money can't buy, and that's cultural influence. That's why every time these people is campaigning, they showing up on our podcast and jumping on stage with us. So anytime they want to put a Yvette Clarke in our face, we need to let it be known that we're not rocking with them. Now, with all that said, let's dive into this reaction video and shed a little more light on why it's detrimental to have Black immigrants representing and speaking on Black American issues.
Right? How can anyone deny these facts? Why is it immigrants are not stopping reparations?
My ancestors come from the Caribbean, and there were slaves in the Caribbean, and we
didn't qualify for this.
Well, here's the challenge. There are so many difficulties with trying to enact reparations, in part because the question is who gets them. Potentially, I could fall into that category. I honestly have called a pipe dream in the past, and I think that's what it is.
Well, it would be nice if there was an elegant, simple solution to all sorts of complicated problems. You're not actually talking about how to fix those problems if you're only talking about reparations, if we're only debating how we're going to parcel out responsibility for something that happened more than a century ago. And we're probably never going to do this. It's not clear to me why we're pursuing this thing.
Is it fair that there's no reparations, no restitution, nothing?
The Irish for reparations, by the way. Irish need not apply signs when they came here during the Progressive era. I mean, how far do we want to take this down? Are we acknowledging that there are ugly spots in history? Because 60% of the world would be entitled to slave reparations if you wanted to play that game.
Well, here's a fact. Slavery ended 154 years ago. It's been a long, long time since we had slavery in this country. And you have people like my family. I'm Black, but my family came to the United States in 1962. My parents are from Costa Rica. Do I get a check?
I did a couple of essay contests that I actually won. And I won like NAACP AXO award for this essay and something else. I can't remember another, like I ended up winning money. And the essay was, do you think Black people should get reparations? And I was like, no, you didn't work for it.
Why are you so against reparations?
Valerie, it's a matter of a waste of time. We've got so much to do. And yet you have people who invest so much energy and attention on what I consider to be a dead-end idea, a dead-end movement.
If we were to pay reparations today, we would only divide the country further. We would insult many Black Americans by putting a price on the suffering of their ancestors.
And this is Exhibit A on why delineation is a must. You don't see no other group of people having outsiders speaking on their issues. It's only when it comes to the Black American community that we have these outside people speaking on what's owed to us. And that's a problem. You don't have nobody speaking on what Asians deserve and what they shouldn't get. You don't have nobody speaking on what anybody else deserves and what they should get except their people. But when it comes to us, we've got these melanated immigrants feeling comfortable enough to do stuff like this. We need to shut this down and shut it down now.
Investigating the Pan-African Tether Caucus.
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters. And my sorors.
Catastrophic for Black Americans.
And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
Absolutely dangerous to Black Americans.
They pose as you, but they fight for them.
Let me give you some background. In 1971, 13 members of the 92nd United States Congress established what we now know as the Congressional Black Caucus, or the CBC. These founding members saw a need for the nation's Black voices to be heard and represented on Capitol Hill.
Caribbean Americans have enriched the United States beyond their numbers. They have made the United States better, stronger, more vibrant, while serving as a credit to the Caribbean region and the United States of America.
It's been a complete and utter disaster.
The most horrific times in American history.
I myself am a proud daughter of Jamaican immigrants. My mother, Dr. Una Clark, served as the first Caribbean-born female member of the New York City Council. In fact, she was the first foreign-born female to serve in the New York City Council.
An attack on the rule of law and the Constitution that undergirds it.
For those reasons, I am proud to represent one of the largest Caribbean diaspora communities in the nation and to serve as one of the co-chairs of the Congressional Caribbean Caucus.
And corruption.
However, unfortunately, the Caribbean region stands at a crossroads today. Many of the nations face high energy prices, environmental degradation, public health challenges, and economic challenges imposed by the correspondent banking crisis.
And corruption.
Haiti, in particular, has been beset by numerous challenges over the past few years through no fault of its own. I believe that the United States must not be silent in the face of those challenges.
What's the odds? We've got to press on.
The Caribbean region is known favorably as the third border of the United States.
No matter what the outcome is on this singular day, we're going to press on.
Instead, it should aid our Caribbean neighbors to help ensure a vibrant future in the region.
And corruption.
Most recent hearings was on the effect of illegal immigration on Black wage and employment levels, and the evidence that we gathered shows that unequivocally the wage and employment levels of Black Americans are disproportionately adversely affected by illegal immigration, particularly when it pertains to the effect on Black males.
A number of occasions reached out to political leadership, specifically the Congressional Black Caucus, because, they call themselves the Congressional Black Caucus. I didn't call them that. And I thought that they would be particularly concerned about this particular issue because the adverse impact is egregious. So I can tell you that we made a number of attempts to highlight this issue to the Congressional Black Caucus. We sent several letters to the then head of the Congressional Black Caucus. All we heard were crickets. So there is, my concern is that on a political level, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of energy behind this particular issue and trying to address the impact of this particular issue. I think that's an abomination, and I'll leave it at that.
We're going to press on until victory is won. I yield back.
What we found also was, regardless of the wage levels, illegal immigrants...
Come on, man. This is damn near treason against the American people, what these tethers is doing. This is treason. How is he trying to contact the Congressional Black Caucus on the issue that's adversely affecting the Black American community, and they don't even return the calls? But Yvette Clarke is in front of Congress stomping for the Caribbean. Listen, this is what y'all need to do. Go call that the immigrant caucus. Take the Black Caucus out there. If y'all want to call it the Black Caucus, we need a foundational Black American caucus, because obviously you guys aren't working for us. This is a crime against the American people, that we have people from another country coming over here and neglecting the people who built this country.
It's a brand new day in America. Let's check this out.
Jason Hill is a philosophy professor at DePaul University, joining us this morning as part of our series looking at Black History Month. Professor Hill, you wrote a book, What Do White Americans Owe Black People? How did you answer that question?
My argument is that reparations, by and large, have already been made to Black Americans through the 1964 Civil Rights Act and through affirmative action programs, through cultural reparations, I argue, have been made through Black Studies programs, and basically, the 1972 Employment Act, and that a free society can really go no further in making restitution to a group of people who might have been suffering from the residual effects of slavery.
Are those financial reparations?
No, because there are no slaves still alive today.
Is he slow? Just because there's no slaves alive today doesn't mean the benefits that were gained during slavery aren't still well and alive. And like he tried to bring up, there are no residual effects. Yes, there are. There's a lot of billion-dollar companies out here that were built because of that free labor. They don't owe us any of that. And why do you care hey, if you're Jamaican and you watching this, come get your family. Get your people, man. Why is it so much of a concern for him about reparations that he's writing a book on it?
Can be no, on my reasoning, going by the logic of the Civil Liberties Act of 1988, there can be no direct financial compensation.
Antoinette in Philadelphia.
Yes, good morning. I'm calling because, if I may speak, I've been a foundational Black American all my life. Reparations is the law. Now, sir, for you to try to speak for me, and you're not even from this country, you're not even a part of the cause and effect of slavery. A lot of our problems stem from slavery. We've never had an opportunity equally. We've never had a chance to. We've had inventions that were stolen. We have our language that was stolen. Everything was stolen from us, and now what we are doing is demanding what is owed to us.
Okay, we'll get a response. Caller. Professor Hill.
First of all, I'm not speaking on behalf of you. Second of all, you have no business telling me what I have not or have not experienced in this country. I came to America when I was 20 years old. I lived in the Deep South, and I've lived here for 38 years, and I've experienced myself as a Black man living in America. Well, my name is Jason Hill, and I came to this country as an immigrant with $120 in my pocket and went on to become a college professor and the author of...
Well, first and foremost, let me go ahead on and give a big hand clap to that sister right there for checking Jason Hill. See, gone are the days that we're going to allow people to come in to America and start speaking on our behalf on platforms and saying they act like they're our representative. Now, did you hear this crazy fool? This man here said that our reparations was the Civil Rights Act, I guess the Voting Rights Act, affirmative action, and anything else that came out in the 1960s, right? That was our reparations. But yet when people like him come over here, they don't come over here just want to benefit off of the Civil Rights Act. They want money. And there are so many immigrant set-asides in this country, like immigrant grants, immigrant loans, immigrant home loans, all kind of monies that can be given to immigrants, but Black Americans cannot get this whatsoever. This man is so disrespectful, and he sounds no different than any other white racist that take an issue with reparations. We at a point that if a Black immigrant is on code with us, well, what they need to do is just basically just be supportive, and we got to be at the forefront. Bottom line. Because when we fight and get what we want, trust me, it's going to benefit Black immigrants. It really is. So it's better for us to fight and get what we need. Now, reparations, in the way it's supposed to go down, no, it would not benefit them. But hey, you got to think about it. Our fight and everything that we have done opened up the door for people like Jason Hill to come here where he can have $120 in his pocket. Dude, you're a liar. Because when you may have had $120 in your pocket, but you didn't keep that $120. You got all kind of immigrant programs that y'all still getting them now. That's why a lot of people have an issue with the Kamala Harris, because all this billions of dollars have been going to the migrants and American citizens not getting a thing. People are sick and tired of that mess.
Because they looking out for their own people. We keep wondering how these immigrants keep getting all these set-asides when they get over here. It's because it's a bunch of immigrants signing this stuff, signing these bills and these policies so they can get them. They got a little immigrant wink, wink. I take care of you, you take care of me.
But I'm so glad the delineation movement has happened, because have you noticed, ever since the delineation movement has happened, now we're slowly starting to get some things done. You notice politically how we're starting to get away from the Democrat Party. We're starting to circle our wagons. We're going to the political middle. People can't really case us anymore on how we vote, because hey, how these black people going to vote this election? We don't know. At one point in time, it was a shoe-in for the Democrats. So the delineation movement has actually been a beautiful thing for black America. And we got to keep that up. We got to keep letting all of them and white America know you can't put none of them in a place talking about they speaking for black America, because we're going to check them immediately, and we're going to check you too. Because he don't speak for us. Now, you're welcome to speak for the Jamaican American community. You're welcome to go speak in your homeland. Speak there. That's where you should keep your expertise. But when it comes to us as black Americans, no. We're going to have black American representation, talk about black American issues. And when it comes to reparations, we got to have all black Americans hand on deck anyway. See, y'all have to understand, with the delineation movement, a lot of people like Jason Hill, they don't like it. Because we going to mess their bag up. Because, see, what happens is the folks use them and give them positions to trip us up. You understand? See, they use people like Jason Hill for them diversity numbers. Because let's call it what it is. They rather Jason Hill in a quote-unquote black position than a black American brother or sister.
Because they know he's safe. They know he ain't going to fight back. He ain't going to fight YT racism. All he gonna do is sit back and be happy that he got somewhere to live. He's got a car to drive, and he's got food to eat. Because back in his homeland, it is terrible. So the YTs, they like this little buffer class because they know they get to pat them on their head and they ain't gonna make too much noise. Us, we're not satisfied. We're gonna keep fighting back. Even though our lives is good, we're gonna keep fighting.
So I just seen a piece of the interview that Byron Donalds did when he was being interviewed on the Breakfast Club, talking about the reason why he is against reparations is because he is the son of a Jamaican father and a Panamanian mother. And this reasoning here is why we want y'all to hell up out our politics. Don't continue to black us or try to manipulate us or gaslight us into thinking that it is xenophobic to not want to be represented by somebody that is not us. And no other group of people do y'all try to push this. And no other group of people do y'all want anybody but Asians represent Asians. Hispanics represent Hispanics. Y'all know exactly what y'all are doing. You feel what I'm saying? Anything that does not benefit y'all amongst us, y'all hinder. And this is a problem to us. To us. To us. You feel what I'm saying? You can always move back home and fight your government for what is owed to your people and your lineage. But y'all will never plan on moving back. This y'all got in cahoots about. Y'all never going to leave. Therefore, anything that y'all can't benefit from or weasel y'all way into, y'all want to hinder. Y'all want to black us. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what the fuck I'm saying? It's mighty funny how y'all like to play stupid conveniently. Nobody knows what a real true black American is. Nobody knows what a foundational black American is. Nobody knows what this lineage-based cult is. But it's mighty funny. The moment that y'all enter our politics, y'all smarten the fuck up instantly. Y'all understand instantly who we are, what you cannot benefit from, and what you can. And as long as we say skin is skin, y'all can benefit and y'all are in. Y'all understand this completely once y'all into politics. How the hell that work? How the hell y'all dump it in a box of rocks until y'all enter some shit that can affect us? How the hell that work? Yes. Y'all represent immigrants. Okay? And only in Hispanic politics, Hispanics are represented by Hispanics. In Asian politics, Asians are represented by Asians. And yet, the Black Caucus is filled up with immigrant children who are against anything for foundational Black Americans that they can't benefit from. Y'all ain't nothing but a new and improved version of Christopher Columbus. Y'all can try to flip this either way you want to, any way you want to. But anybody who can move to a different country and actively participate in hindering a group of people, that's colonization, my brother, no matter which way you put it.
Let's keep it real. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And these immigrants that's in our political system do not have the best interest of our community in their hearts, in their minds. They don't care. These immigrants getting on TV, they don't care about Black Americans. It's time for us to separate from them, close the door, and clean up our own house. Because this is crazy. Now, the Democratic Party is the issue because they are the ones elevating these people, and they're also the ones signing these policies for these immigrants to come over here. Now, what these people are going to try to do is shame us. Oh, you're MAGA. Oh, you sound like the YTs. Why? Because we don't want our specific ethnic group getting harmed? That makes no sense. Don't ever let them shame you with that you're xenophobic. Don't ever let them shame you with that you sound like you're right wing. Because what they're really trying to say is don't put yourselves first. Yeah, what they really like is when we're on the bottom of the totem pole, right? And everybody else is getting set-asides and benefits except us. It's time to put those days in the past because our ancestors didn't fight for us to vote. Our ancestors fought for us to use the vote so we can get something for it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.